Welcome to the Global Love and Gratitude Water Meditation and Consciousness Experiment series with the Water Peace Project. Together, we are connecting through water for peace. A journey through water and your heart. Water holds all the answers to all our questions. Who are we? Where did we come from? And why are we here? For today's session, we will be reflecting on the words from Dr. Emoto from his book, The True Power of Water, Healing and Discovering Ourselves, Hado. Let's begin with a powerful clearing with the Ho'oponopono prayer. Please connect with your sincere heart and join in resonance by repeating 3 times. Water, I am sorry. Water, please forgive me. Water, I thank you. Water, I love you. Water, I am sorry. Water, please forgive me. Water, I thank you. Water, I love you. Water, I am sorry. Water, please forgive me. Water, I thank you. Water, I love you. We only have one Mother Water. Please connect with your sincere heart and direct your sincere love and gratitude to all water. Chapter 4. Using the true power of water in your life. Eat foods with good hado. We cannot live without water. Water carries vibration, the source of energy. Some may say, what about food? We cannot live without food either. That's right. Indeed, we cannot live without food. Food is important for us, of course, but its vibration is what is essential for living a vital life. All that lives must continue to vibrate. In other words, each cell must also continue to vibrate. Vibration cannot continue forever without something causing it. This is the same with everything in life. For example, a top cannot spin indefinitely. It eventually stops if we don't keep it going. To avoid the stoppage, we give the top a sort of shock by turning it with a string. For the vibration of living creatures, food plays this role. Each food has a certain vibration. Strawberries have their own vibration, and apples have theirs. Of course, each organ or cell of the body has its own vibration. The vibrations of food resonate with the vibrations of our organs and cells. Through this resonance of the body's organs and cells, life keeps going. To influence the body's many organs with good vibrations, it is important to eat a variety of foods. From the nutritional viewpoint, we are told to eat various foods to avoid an unbalanced diet. This is because we need to make our organs and cells resonate as much as possible with the vibrations derived from food. Some time ago, a dietitian named Dr. Akiko Shigahara and I conducted research into the hado of food. Dr. Shigahara received her doctorate degree from the University of Tokyo, the Graduate School of Medicine. After having worked at a famous research institute, she established Shigahara Institute. She is regarded as an authority in her field. She became interested in hado because she happened to read one of my books. Using an instrument to measure hado, we measured the hado of many foods. For partial results from the study, see Table 2, which follows. As mentioned earlier, the highest measurement we get from this instrument is 2121. When we measure hado, it is expressed as a fraction with a denominator of 21. However, for the sake of simplicity, I will only use the numerators here. We studied hado regarding immunity, anti-stress, and antidepressant. In general, vegetables scored high. In other words, they were effective at counteracting disease, stress, and depression. Nevertheless, each vegetable was slightly different. Our results regarding vegetables reinforce the importance of eating a variety of foods. One noteworthy test was spinach. When it was raw, it had good hado. However, when it was boiled, it lost some of its good qualities. I didn't expect the difference to be so significant. These results also surprised Dr. Shigahara. Next, we measured the hado of fish and seafood. Overall, they showed good hado. Dr. Shigahara analyzed the results and said that since the sea is the rich repository of minerals, these foods tended to score higher than the foods from the land. Studying meats yielded interesting results. Chicken and duck scored high overall in the categories of immunity, anti-stress, and anti-depression. On the other hand, beef, pork, and mutton were not so good, especially in the category of anti-stress. There were obvious differences between meats and poultry. Then we went on to study fruits and nuts. Dr. Shigahara was impressed by the results and commented that nuts, which are often referred to as saints' food, are the best. She had been saying that nuts gave us the best nutrients, and her point was verified by our study. As a side note, although it is not my intention to connect religions with hado, I have noticed that as people go through religious training, they often can sense what would have good hado. From the nutritional viewpoint, nuts are believed to have a diuretic effect and to keep blood vessels supple, so they are good for preventing cerebral thrombosis and cerebral hemorrhage. We then move on to find out if there would be any changes in hado depending on the methods of cooking. For this study, we picked hamburger. We compared a boil-in-bag hamburger mass-produced in a factory with one homemade. The idea came from Dr. Shigahara. She said, there may be a difference in hado between a boil-in-bag hamburger and one made at home. The hado of the person who makes it may be a factor. This could lead us to understand the theme. What does the taste of homemade cooking mean? When we put our whole heart into cooking, I think it can improve hado. To prove her hypothesis, we conducted the test. We compared 4 different hamburgers: boil in a bag, homemade, homemade with loving words spoken to it, and homemade with angry words spoken to it. The loving words we used were looks delicious, smells good, and can't wait to eat with everyone else. The angry words were frustrated, tired, and why do I have to make such a troublesome dish when I don't have time? As anticipated, the results showed differences between a boil-in-bag hamburger and a homemade one. It defied our imagination to learn how much influence the words had on the food. However, I didn't expect that food would show such a big difference depending on the words spoken to it. A dish may be made at home, but there is a difference when one makes it with love and when one showers words of abuse on it. As a matter of fact, a boil-in-bag hamburger resulted in better Hotto scores than hamburger homemade with angry words. Therefore, I ask people to send love and gratitude when they make meals for their families. I ask family members who taste these dishes to be loving and grateful. The rapid heating of a microwave oven disturbs Hotto. We took distilled water that would normally form beautiful crystals and heated it in a microwave oven for 15 seconds. We could only take grotesque photographs of this water from crystals. The electromagnetic waves of a microwave oven are quite strong. By exposing water to the waves for just 15 seconds, the good Hotto of the distilled water was destroyed completely. For some time, I have been thinking that the rapid change of water temperature would deteriorate the quality of water. My reason for thinking this goes back to the time we were struggling to take our first water crystal photographs. We used pure, clean water, froze it, and then took pictures. Our trouble was to discover the best length of time for freezing the water. Eventually, we were more likely to find water crystals when we took about 3 hours to slowly freeze the water. The process to arrive at this finding wasn't easy. While thinking that shorter freezing time would ensure fewer changes in the quality of water, we tried high-speed freezing by using a state-of-the-art freezer as well as by using liquid nitrogen. However, we found no water crystals after such processes. In order to maintain the water's beautiful qualities, it was necessary to take more time to freeze it. To me, this meant that when water is forced to change its temperature rapidly, its quality deteriorates. A microwave oven is capable of instantly increasing the temperature of an item. After this unnatural process, how did the Hotto change? In our experiment, we used the same homemade hamburgers and compared 3 different cooking methods: in a frying pan, in a microwave oven for a normal amount of time, 2 minutes, and in a microwave oven for an excessive amount of time, 3 minutes. The results were not surprising to us. The hotto of the hamburger grilled in a frying pan was +10, while the one cooked for a normal amount of time in a microwave oven was +6, and the one cooked for an excessive amount of time in a microwave oven was as low as -2. According to Dr. Sugihara, the difference between the normal and excessive amounts of time in the microwave cooking was only 1 to 3 minutes. This amount of time is within the range in which people often make mistakes while cooking. Yet, such mistakes could result in crucial differences in terms of hotto. This experiment taught me a lesson in how difficult it is to work with electromagnetic waves. Improve the hotto of cellular phones, television, and personal computers. I mentioned earlier that the hotto of the earth, a living entity, has been disturbed by the rapid population growth. One factor for the planet's disturbed hotto must have resulted from the fact that this increased population is using many devices with electromagnetic waves. The devices that produce electromagnetic waves not only affect the hotto of the earth negatively, but also affect you, the user of the devices, in disturbing your hotto and potentially harming your health significantly. Previously, I explained our experiments in which distilled water heated for only 15 seconds in a microwave oven formed no crystals. Although the water would have formed crystals had it not been heated. Hopefully, this has shown you how significant the effects of electromagnetic waves can be. I also have other examples from experiments on cellular phones, television sets, and personal computers. This is where we will end the reading for today. The True Power of Water, Healing and Discovering Yourself, Hado, written by Dr. Emoto. Thank you for taking this journey with us. To learn more about the Water Peace Project's live consciousness experiments and other events, please visit waterpeaceproject.org. Our mission is to inspire and educate people, especially children, the importance of water for peace. We thank you for your participation. Together, we can change the world through resonance. Let us end today's session with the grand invocation in Japanese from Dr. Emoto, recorded in July of 2011. The grand invocation, meaning in English: The eternal power of the universe has gathered itself to create a world of true and grand harmony.